And how I know? My GDs was up there. They got on him, questioned him about it, and bro, that ain't got nothing. I ain't known that. Ooh, that was just music.
But he was dissing though.
To get it back in blood or whatever.
Yeah, he was dissing all in that song, so I ain't gonna say it ain't.
Pooh Shiesty, one of the biggest rappers to come out of Memphis in recent years, is reportedly in critical condition after getting jumped by Crips inside a federal prison. But this situation goes way deeper than just a fight. This is about loyalty, prison politics, and what really happens when a famous rapper gets locked up and thinks his name carries weight behind bars. And spoiler alert, it doesn't. By the end of this, you'll understand what allegedly happened to Pooh Shiesty, why people are talking crazy about it online, and why this story has the rap world buzzing right now. Before getting into all that, let's set the stage real quick because some people still don't fully know who Pooh Shiesty is or why this story became such a huge deal. Once you know the background, everything else hits different. For real, Pooh Shiesty, whose real name is Lontrell Donnell Williams Jr., is a rapper from Memphis, Tennessee. Born on November 8th, 2000, he blew up at just 20 years old. While most people that age are still trying to figure life out, he was already dropping hit records and going platinum. He signed to Gucci Mane's 1017 Records and came into the rap game heavy. His mixtape Shiesty Season dropped in January 2021 and took off fast, debuting at number 4 on the Billboard 200. And number 4 with a mixtape, not a full album, a mixtape, and it still hit the top 5 nationwide. Then Pooh Shiesty dropped Back in Blood with Lil Durk, and that record went platinum more than once. He was moving like the next big thing. Then everything flipped fast. In October 2021, Pooh Shiesty pleaded guilty to a federal charge of conspiracy to commit robbery. The case came from a 2020 incident where he and some associates allegedly robbed 2 men at a hotel in Bay Harbor Islands, Florida, and during that situation, one victim was shot. That part is serious, and there's nothing funny about it. Once federal charges came into the picture, things got real. In August 2022, Pooh Shiesty was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in federal prison. In the federal system, people usually serve most of their sentence, so this was not some quick time out. He was placed in a low-security federal correctional institution, which might sound calm on paper. People probably thought, okay, at least it's not one of the wildest prisons out there. But that's where things allegedly took a dark turn, because this is when the story stops being just rapper goes to prison and starts looking way more disturbing. Reports started coming out that Pooh Shiesty was allegedly having a rough time in prison. And yeah, prison is hard for anybody, but this situation hit different because he's a famous rapper with platinum records, millions of followers, and real money behind his name. A lot of people think that kind of fame gives someone protection inside, but federal prison doesn't work like that at all. Behind those walls, your fame on the outside means almost nothing. What matters is where you're from, who you're connected to, what set you claim, and whether you can stand your ground when problems start. Street politics don't disappear just because somebody became a rap star. If anything, fame can allegedly make somebody a bigger target because people see an opportunity to build their own reputation off your name. Now here's the part that really got everybody talking online. According to reports circulating online, Pooh Shiesty was allegedly involved in a serious altercation inside the federal facility where he's being housed. And this reportedly wasn't some small argument or quick fight in the yard. Sources claim multiple individuals allegedly affiliated with the Crips jumped him during the incident. Reports also said Pooh Shiesty suffered noticeable injuries during the altercation, including allegedly losing a tooth, and that detail spread across social media fast. The internet instantly turned the whole thing into jokes and memes because that's what always happens online. But at the same time, people were also shocked because situations like this show how dangerous prison can really get, even for somebody with fame, money, and major status in the rap game. But when you really think about it, allegedly getting a tooth knocked out shows how violent that fight must have been. That doesn't happen from one weak hit. That points to some serious damage during the altercation, and reports claiming Pooh Shiesty was in critical condition made the whole story spread even faster online. According to reports, the injuries may have gone beyond just losing a tooth. People were genuinely worried about his condition, and that's what made the situation feel so shocking. A lot of fans couldn't believe somebody with that much fame could allegedly end up in a situation like this behind bars. Now, before getting deeper into what allegedly happened, it's important to understand prison gang politics because that's where this story gets complicated fast. Without that background, people won't fully understand why reports kept mentioning Crips in connection to the altercation. Pooh Shiesty is from Memphis, Tennessee, and Memphis has its own street culture that's different from places like Los Angeles or Chicago. A lot of Memphis neighborhoods and groups developed their own identities over time instead of following the exact same structure as other cities. As Memphis rappers started blowing up nationally, people naturally began connecting certain artists to different street affiliations, whether directly or indirectly. Reports and online discussions have often linked Pooh Shiesty to blood-associated circles through people around him and artists connected to his camp. But federal prison is a whole different world because inmates come from everywhere, and those alliances and tensions can allegedly become way more serious inside. In federal prison, you're locked in with people from all over the country. Somebody from Memphis could be housed with inmates from Compton, South Central, Chicago, New York, and everywhere else. Everybody brings their own affiliations and tensions with them, and that can allegedly create serious problems fast. So when reports started claiming Pooh Shiesty, who's been linked online to blood-associated circles, ended up around a strong Crip presence inside, a lot of people immediately connected the dots. According to online discussions, people believe that Clash may have played a role in the altercation. In prison politics, situations like that are often seen as deeper than just random fights. And now a huge question keeps popping up online. People keep asking, why doesn't Pooh Shiesty just go into PC? Protective custody is a separate unit meant for inmates considered at risk. On paper, it sounds simple. If somebody's in danger, they move away from general population and stay safer. But prison culture allegedly views that very differently. In a lot of prison environments, going into protective custody carries a heavy stigma. People may see it as admitting you can't survive in general population, and that label can reportedly follow someone long after they leave prison. Online conversations around this have gotten intense because Pooh Shiesty built his image around being authentic, street-connected, and standing solid under pressure. His music, reputation, and public image are all tied to that persona. So people believe any move connected to protective custody could affect how some fans or people in the streets look at him later on. That's why many people say this situation puts him in a brutal position. On one side, there's personal safety. On the other side, there's reputation, credibility, and the image tied to his career. And in both prison culture and street culture, people often believe decisions made behind bars can still follow someone once they're back outside. Not asking for protection allegedly means staying in an environment where serious danger can still exist. And that's why so many people online see this whole situation as rough from every angle. It's a pressure-filled position for anybody to be in. A lot of people also have this Hollywood image of what celebrity life in prison looks like, but reports about federal prison paint a way different picture. Pooh Shiesty reportedly isn't living some luxury setup behind bars just because he's famous. There's no special celebrity treatment, no fancy meals, and no private lifestyle because somebody has platinum records. In many low-security federal facilities, inmates are reportedly housed in dorm-style units with open spaces, multiple people around constantly, and very little privacy. You're surrounded by people from different cities, backgrounds, and affiliations every single day, which can allegedly create non-stop tension. Now sure, being famous might help in some situations because people recognize the music and know your name. Some inmates may respect that, but fame can also bring attention from people who want to test somebody's image or reputation. According to online discussions, some individuals may try to see whether a rapper's public persona matches reality once they're inside. Then there's the money side of it. Even though inmates can't freely access outside money, people know celebrities often have support from family, friends, or business connections who can add money to commissary accounts. Reports and prison discussions online often describe that as something that can make high-profile inmates bigger targets for pressure, extortion attempts, or conflicts over resources. That's why a lot of people say fame and money don't always protect someone in prison. In some cases, they can allegedly make the situation even more dangerous because attention comes from every direction. A lot of people focus only on the physical side of what allegedly happened to Pooh Shiesty, but the mental side of prison can hit just as hard. This is somebody who went from being one of the hottest young rappers in the country to suddenly living inside a federal prison for years. One minute he was performing at festivals, recording music, traveling, and building a huge career. Then everything changed fast. While he's locked up, the rap game keeps moving without him. New artists keep blowing up. Other rappers from his era keep dropping projects and going on tour, and he reportedly has to watch all of that from the inside with very limited communication. That kind of situation can reportedly become mentally exhausting. A lot of people on the outside don't fully understand what it's like watching your career, freedom, and everyday life pause while the world keeps moving around you. And on top of all that pressure, reports claim he's also dealing with violence, tension, and the fear that problems could happen at any moment inside. Federal prisons can reportedly become chaotic fast when conflicts break out, especially in crowded dorm-style settings where staff can't be everywhere all the time. That's why many people online stop looking at this story as just gossip or entertainment. At the center of it is a real person dealing with a dangerous and stressful situation behind bars. Now people are asking what's actually being done about Pooh Shiesty's safety inside prison. Reports about the alleged attack sparked major concern online, and many believe his legal team and family are likely pushing for answers about his condition and protection. The problem is, the Bureau of Prisons reportedly keeps most incidents extremely private. Information about prison altercations usually spreads through inmates, lawyers, family members, or limited phone calls instead of official public updates. It's not like prisons regularly hold public briefings about fights or violent incidents behind bars. What people do know is that serious incidents are supposed to trigger medical evaluations, investigations, and internal reports. If an inmate is badly injured, they're supposed to receive treatment, and there are reportedly disciplinary processes for anyone involved in the altercation. But critics of the prison system often argue that responses can be slow or incomplete. Many people online say the bigger issue is that even after incidents happen, the same tensions and conflicts inside the facility may still exist afterward. That's what has people so worried about this situation. According to online discussions, if somebody remains in the same environment without major changes, there's always fear another conflict could happen later. And because prison politics can reportedly run deep, many fans are questioning whether enough can really be done to fully prevent future problems. At the same time, social media has been split on the situation. Some people argue Pooh Shiesty is simply facing consequences tied to past decisions, while others say no matter what someone did, nobody deserves to be seriously hurt or put in danger while incarcerated. The debate around it has gotten loud fast. A lot of people online have been saying things like, he knew what came with that lifestyle. And yeah, some people see it that way. Pooh Shiesty did plead guilty in his federal case, and the legal situation that led to prison is already part of the public record, but many others are making a different point. Serving prison time and allegedly being violently attacked are not the same thing. The court sentenced him to incarceration, not to serious injuries or dangerous altercations inside a facility. That's why this story has sparked such a huge debate online, and honestly, this situation opened up a much bigger conversation about what life can reportedly be like inside American federal prisons. People started discussing gang politics, violence, pressure over reputation, and the difficult choices inmates may feel forced to make between personal safety and public image. What also hit people hard is realizing this type of situation reportedly happens to many incarcerated individuals whose stories never become headlines. Most people dealing with prison violence or pressure aren't famous rappers with millions of followers. Their situations usually stay completely out of the public eye. Then another layer got added to the conversation online. A lot of people started saying Pooh Shiesty may have faced extra pressure because of his image, his ties to 1017 Records, and the reputation connected to artists around that circle. Some fans believe people inside may have expected him to carry himself a certain way because of the image tied to his music and career. That's something people outside prison often overlook. When somebody builds a public persona around toughness and authenticity, fans, rivals, and even strangers can start placing expectations on them everywhere they go, including behind bars. On one side, Pooh Shiesty allegedly has supporters who expect him to stay solid, stand tall, and represent himself a certain way inside prison. A lot of fans connected to his music and image believe he should never back down or check in. But on the other side, there are reportedly people who may want to test that exact reputation. And inside prison, those challenges allegedly don't always happen through words. According to many discussions online, respect and image can become tied to physical confrontations and pressure situations. That's why people say Pooh Shiesty walked into an environment where attention was already on him from multiple angles. For anybody, that would reportedly be an intense situation. And people also point out he's still a young man dealing with an extremely difficult environment while trying to carry the weight of a major public image at the same time. A lot of fans also brought up Gucci Mane during these conversations. Gucci has openly spoken before about his own prison experiences, and people online noted that even somebody with major respect and status still dealt with hardships while incarcerated. That's why many say prison is a completely different world no matter how famous someone is. Then there's another major question people keep asking. What happens to Pooh's career after all this? Even while incarcerated, his music is still streaming, playlists still feature his songs, and his name remains active in hip-hop culture. Hip-hop has a long history of artists staying relevant during prison sentences, and sometimes incarceration even adds more attention to an artist's story. Fans often become highly interested in comeback projects or first releases after prison. But many people online are saying that future only matters if an artist safely makes it through the situation first, and that's the part making fans the most nervous right now. That comeback story only works if the artist comes home healthy and able to rebuild their life and career. And with reports about what allegedly happened to Pooh Shiesty, a lot of fans are now wondering what condition he'll be in once he eventually leaves prison. For many people, this stopped being just a rap story and became a real human concern. People are asking whether he'll come home mentally and physically okay after dealing with years inside such a stressful environment. Situations like this can reportedly leave long-lasting effects that go way beyond prison time itself. One detail that especially went viral online was the report about him allegedly losing a tooth during the altercation. As harsh as that sounds, many people saw that as a sign the incident may have been extremely violent. According to online discussions, injuries like that usually suggest somebody was overwhelmed during the confrontation rather than involved in a simple one-on-one fight. Reports claim multiple individuals were involved, which is why social media reacted so strongly to the story. People also pointed out how dangerous situations can allegedly become inside prison when several attackers are involved at once. In crowded dorms or common areas, incidents can reportedly escalate fast before staff members are able to intervene. That's why this story hit so hard online. A lot of fans stopped focusing on gossip and started looking at the bigger picture of how risky and unpredictable prison environments can allegedly become, even for someone with fame and status. When multiple people are allegedly involved, fighting back only goes so far because the numbers are not on your side. That's one reason prison reform advocates keep calling for better staffing, stronger monitoring, and faster intervention inside facilities. A situation like this reportedly doesn't happen in one quick second. People have to move, tensions have to build, and if it reaches the point where someone is allegedly badly hurt, many people see that as a sign the system failed to stop something that may have been preventable. But there's another important part of this story too. Information about prison incidents involving famous people can be messy. Prisons are closed environments, communication is limited, and details often come out through second-hand or third-hand sources. That means stories can get exaggerated, twisted, or even made up for attention online. So when people talk about what allegedly happened to Pooh Shiesty, it's important to separate what's being consistently reported from what's still unclear. The main claims being discussed are that a serious altercation allegedly happened, gang-affiliated individuals were reportedly involved, and Pooh Shiesty allegedly suffered injuries. But exact details like how many people were involved, the full extent of the injuries, and his precise medical condition are harder to confirm with certainty. What made this story spread so fast is that it didn't feel like just another random internet rumor. Reports about what allegedly happened to Pooh Shiesty started getting attention from multiple outlets and people known for covering news connected to incarcerated artists in the rap scene. Of course, details around prison incidents can still be difficult to fully verify, so people should always think critically about what they read online. But many fans noticed that concern around this situation seemed very real, especially from people connected to Memphis and others familiar with Pooh Shiesty's circle. A lot of supporters weren't brushing the story off as fake or chasing jokes about it. Instead, many were genuinely worried about his condition and what he may allegedly be dealing with inside prison. And that reaction alone says a lot about how serious people believe the situation could be. At the same time, fans keep looking back at how quickly his career exploded. Pooh Shiesty had one of the biggest breakout runs in Memphis rap in recent years. Between the mixtape success, hit features, and major streaming numbers, he built huge momentum at a very young age. Then everything changed after his federal case led to prison time in his early 20s. Since then, people say he's been navigating an environment filled with pressure, gang politics, reputation issues, and constant tension. And now, with reports of a violent altercation and serious injuries spreading nationwide, the conversation around his future has become even more intense. A lot of people online believe Pooh Shiesty allegedly won't choose protective custody because of how it could affect his image and credibility in both prison culture and street culture. In those environments, some people see checking in as damaging to someone's reputation, especially for an artist whose career was built around authenticity and toughness. Because of that, many fans think he's staying in general population despite the risks that reportedly come with it. And that's why the conversation around his safety has become so serious online. At the same time, many people argue the Federal Bureau of Prisons has a responsibility to keep inmates safe no matter who they are. Famous or not, people believe anyone in custody should be protected from severe violence inside a facility. So when reports describe somebody allegedly ending up badly injured after an altercation, critics see that as a major failure within the system itself. When you really look at the full picture, this story feels bigger than just rap gossip. It became a conversation about prison violence, reputation, mental pressure, and what can happen when fame collides with dangerous environments behind bars. And despite all the jokes and debates online, a lot of fans genuinely want to see Pooh Shiesty come home healthy, return to music, and continue his career. Many people don't see this as just another viral story. They see it as a real situation involving someone whose life and future are still unfolding. But at the center of all this is a real person, Lontrell Donnell Williams Jr., a young man, somebody's son, somebody's family member, and an artist with real talent who made mistakes and is now serving time for them. But many people believe that still doesn't mean he deserves to allegedly face extreme violence while incarcerated. Basic safety and human dignity should apply to everybody, no matter who they are. And that's why this whole Pooh Shiesty situation hit so hard online. The reports about the altercation, the injuries, the prison politics, the pressure around protective custody, and the reality of daily life inside federal prison all turned this into way more than just another rap headline. At the end of the day, people are hoping he makes it through this situation safely and eventually gets the chance to return to his music and career. Fans still believe he has a future waiting for him outside those walls. If this video gave you a deeper understanding of the situation, make sure you hit that like button because it really helps the channel grow. Also, subscribe and share this video with others following the story. And don't forget to drop a comment below saying, "Praying for Pooh Shiesty," and let me know your thoughts on everything going on right now.